to turn on number one too, right? The Well, hello everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at worldwide. It's Paul Chavis, Mr. International on KUHS, the stream. And boy, this weather, I don't know, it's just kind of messed with us a little bit health-wise, because I was down for a little bit. It was a tough one. Henry wanted no part of me for the last couple of weeks. So I didn't come into the studio, and I didn't get a chance to talk about the Broncos. We're no use now, but it's good to be back, and it's a good reason to be back, because in studio she's back talking about Tammy Stellar, and she's going to talk about Social Security, Medicaid and Medicare. Okay, I'll get it right here. Hi, Tammy.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Glad you're making me nervous. I don't know why. I think it's because I haven't been here so long.
Oh, you're killing it.
Anyway, we say hello to everybody on Facebook and all the platforms around the world. We're on 87 different platforms, and that's just how we roll here at KUHS. And so, Tammy.
Yeah.
Stellar Solutions. When did it start?
Stellar Solutions started about 3 years ago.
Okay.
But I've been in the industry for 20 years.
So she knows her stuff, guys. If you want to know pretty much anything about Medicaid or Medicare, she's the go-to lady. I'll tell you that. She's my go-to lady, and I've turned her on to a lot of other friends and relatives, and I usually don't do that unless I got taken care of, and I have. I really appreciate you. I want to say it publicly because you are awesome, Tammy. Tammy, let's talk about the changes. What was it? We're able to make our choices in December, right?
Yeah, we got to make our big annual change for this year. It's the AEP period from October to December 7th.
Right.
And then you kind of sit there and you think about it, and you get your cards in December, and then in January, you start using it.
Right.
And sometimes it goes great.
Sometimes.
You get your cards, you're paying what you expect to pay for your prescriptions, everything goes great. But sometimes, my friend, things go south.
They do. They do. You saw my co-pays. I'm like, whoa, what happened here? But that's kind of my personal stuff. But, it happens to other people as well. I mean, you go get your medications at wherever you get your medications, and all of a sudden you see these tremendous, as much as the national budget just about, it's like, I can't afford that, So tell us, what do we do?
Well, there's a couple things you can do.
Okay.
The first thing is there is a maximum out-of-pocket limit for your prescription drug costs.
Okay.
And that's $2,100 a year.
Okay.
So if your company says you can have that drug, even if it's expensive, the only thing coming out of your pocket for the entire year for all your prescriptions is $2,100.
Okay.
So if your budget can handle that, that's what you do.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
It's not a great solution, is it?
Not really.
Okay.
Come on, Stellar Solutions.
Okay.
Help us out.
If you can't do that, the next thing is we need to take a closer look at your prescriptions, because different companies have different what they call formularies.
Right.
They have different drugs within their plan, and it might be less expensive to go to another plan.
That do the same thing the one that originally was prescribed. Am I right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So like it could be a lower tier so your cost is lower, or it could be a different version of that medication that could bring your cost down.
Okay.
Now, when can you do that is the question, because we already made our choice, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I don't know about you, but have you ever been clothes shopping and you see something on the rack and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna look so good in
That's
that,
gonna
right?
be, yeah.
And you're like, this is so perfect for me, I ain't even trying it on. I'm bringing it home, right? And you are feeling it, and then you get ready for that big night and you put it on and you're like,
oh my God, what was I thinking?
Look not upon it.
It's too small.
It's terrible, I hate it. It does not fit, it doesn't work for me. Well, there's a return policy, right?
Okay.
So you can bring it back and return it.
Okay.
So
Same with your policy, I guess.
same with your policy right now. There is an enrollment period called open enrollment period. It's not annual, it's open.
Okay.
And it's from January 1st to March 31st, the first 3 months of the year.
Okay.
And so if you've tried it on and it doesn't fit like you like it to,
Right.
you can make one change. Only one.
One time only.
One time, so you try a different size or you get a different color,
Right.
and then that's the one you're going to be with for the rest of the year.
Right. Okay. Okay. So that's probably where I'm at, and I was fine with it last year, but there's been some changes, and you made me aware of it. But there was some things that I liked, and I said, I'm going to stick with it, and I think there's a lot of us that want to keep the same suit and say, we're going to make it fit.
I'm going to lose a couple pounds and I'm going to be beautiful.
Right.
Right.
So we got time then.
We absolutely. So what we're probably going to do is a really thorough analysis. We're going to look at every single prescription.
Okay.
We're going to look at every single bill you could pay, like a specialist copay. We're going to look at your doctors. We're going to look at your specialists. We're going to look at all of the providers that you need, and we're going to try and find the one that has all your providers.
Okay.
Then we're going to try to find the lowest cost for your prescriptions and the lowest cost for you to use your providers. So we're going to base it across costs. But what we're not going to do, we're not going to look for the silly stuff first. We're looking for the big stuff. We want to keep your prescription costs down. We want you to go to the providers you trust.
Right.
If there are extra benefits, like a grocery card or over the counter or a free gym membership, that's just frosting, my friend.
Yeah.
It's lovely to have that free gym membership. Yeah. It's lovely to get a couple bucks on a grocery card. But is it really worth it if you're paying $500 a month for a prescription? Probably not.
Probably not.
It's much easier to pay $40 for that prescription and buy your own groceries.
That's right. Excuse me. I truly get that. I'm experiencing. You're talking to me. You're talking to me. Anyway, so let's talk about the Medicare when it all started. Take us back.
Okay, let's go through the ABCs.
Okay.
Just like when you were a kid. First thing that you learned were your ABCs in school, right?
Makes
and then you
sense.
put it all together.
Yeah.
Well, they throw us into Medicare without giving us the ABCs.
Okay.
So we're going through the ABCs.
Right.
Okay, so have you ever looked at your red, white, and blue Medicare card? And it has your name, it has a big, long, weird number letter combination thing, and then it has a Part A and a Part B effective date.
Right.
Okay, so we're at the A's and B's. So, like, my husband has his insurance through work, right?
Right.
And he pays his little monthly thing, and everything's included. Going to the doctor, going to the hospital, getting tests, prescriptions, everything is all together. But on Medicare, we have an A and a B.
Oh.
Right? And so what the heck? So, here's what happened. People we're not going to start there. We're going to start about 20 years back. We're going to pretend, my friend, that it's about 1942.
Ouch. Okay, 42.
1942.
Twinkle in my daddy's eye. Okay.
Yes, okay. 42. Well, it's between 1939 and 1945. Was there anything big going on in the world then?
Not really. Was there even any money?
There was not a lot of money, but there was a big war.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Makes sense, yeah.
So if you were a young adult in that time period, if you were 22 and there was the big World War II going on, what would happen to you, Paul?
Probably get sent to war.
You probably would go to war, okay? So let's look at society for a second on that. Young men, and sometimes older men too, would go to war. Well, then all of those jobs, you probably had a job before you went to war, right? And you left your job.
Right.
Well, what happens to that company and that job?
Goes under.
It could go under unless, dun-dun-dun, Rosie the Riveter pops in.
Oh.
So women really started to be in the workforce much more at that time. So women went to the workforce, and then other women who stayed home would watch other people's children and do laundry and cook for them. Just kind of made it work. Everybody did their part, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
Right. And then in 45, you won, you did your job, and you came home, right?
Uh-huh.
So,
if you made it home.
Yes, you did. Okay, in our story, you made it just fine,
Okay,
right?
I made it home, okay.
So all of those companies were running on really, really small. They didn't have as many workers as they needed, and they did have some women. So there wasn't near as much experience. You know, you took your experience with you. So when all of those veterans were coming back, all the companies were like, come and work for us, come and work for us, come and work for us. And so they paid more and they paid more, but it always wasn't enough. Then one company said, you know what, Paul, if you come and work for me, I am going to pay your salary. But guess what else I'm going to do? I am going to pay the medical bills for you and your family as long as you work here.
Wow, yeah.
And you're like, holy smokes, that's amazing. My wife is pregnant. You're going to help pay for that. And then when the kid's born, you're going to pay for that too. They're like, we'll pay our part, you pay yours. And you're like, this is amazing. I'm in, right?
Right.
So it wasn't just the young guys doing it. It was also those soldiers that came back that were, you know, like the 40 and 50-year-old soldiers, the guys running the thing.
Right.
So that's where group commercial insurance really took off.
Ah, okay.
Got really popular.
Okay.
And so you spent your life working and expecting your company to help pay for your costs, and it was awesome. And the older you got, maybe you had a little bit of heart issue, so you had to go to the doctor a little bit more. Maybe you had a little bit of joint issue, so you had to go a little more. And you start realizing, man, the older I get, the more expensive my medical costs are.
Right.
And then you're looking at retirement.
Ooh la la.
And you're thinking, well, I can't retire because if I leave this job, I leave my insurance.
Right.
And I cannot afford to take care of myself.
Right.
So all of those veterans from World War II, they lost their minds.
I bet.
They were not happy that there was nothing to save them.
Right.
They were just going to have to pay their own medical costs. So the president listened. And it was right after JFK. It was Texas, Lyndon Johnson. Right?
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, so we need to help these guys out. Men and women, by the way. Sorry, not just men.
Right.
In our story, it was men.
Right.
We need to help these people out. But how can we do it? Because as we said, it's expensive.
Right.
So they're like, wait, I got an idea. What if we split the stuff up? Like part A could be just hospital. Because hospital's real expensive.
Right.
But how often do you use it?
Yeah. Well, it depends how old you are too.
It's more.
Yeah.
The older we get, but we don't use it as often as that routine coverage.
Right.
So they said medical coverage is going to be different than hospital coverage. Hospital's part A, and when you go to the hospital, we'll pay our part, you pay yours, as long as you paid into the system.
Mm-hmm.
But then part B, that's your routine care. It's going to your primary care.
Okay.
It's going to your specialist. It's going to physical therapy. That's your anesthesiologist or your surgeon when you're in the hospital. Okay? It's going to urgent care. It's all the routine stuff that we do all the time. That's under Part B. And they said, okay, so because you worked here for us at least 10 years in this country,
Right.
we're going to help you with your Part A. We're not even going to make you pay for it because you put your time in. And you're like, that is so awesome. Cool. But if you want all that routine care, you're going to have to pay your part to get in. You're going to have to pay a premium. So every month you get your Part A on your card at $0. And every month they take $202.90 out of your Social Security check to pay for your Part B. It's your pay to play. So they had Part A and B in the 60s. And that was awesome in the 60s. Because think about it. The diseases and the things that they can fix and treat today in 2026, a heck of a lot different than in 1970.
Sure.
So like, what do you think would happen if you have a heart attack in 1970? What's the general outcome?
Mostly check out.
Yeah. What if you have a stroke?
Check out.
Ooh, what if your doctor comes and looks at you and says, it's 1970 and you got cancer?
Bye-bye.
Right. So medical costs were a lot less expensive because there weren't a lot of treatments available. There also weren't a lot of drugs. If you had a headache in 1970, what would you take to get rid of your headache?
Aspirin.
Right. Let's say like your leg hurt in 1970. what would you take?
A little Bengay.
Maybe some Bengay and an aspirin, right?
And an aspirin, yeah.
But have you ever noticed watching TV? There are like all these commercials for all these weird to pronounce drugs
Right.
with weird side effects for conditions you didn't even know were possible.
And live life after they
Live.
tell you what happens.
Yes, it's great.
What's going to happen to you may cause death,
Yeah.
may cause blindness, but live life.
Yes, exactly. And ask your doctor for this drug.
Right.
So in the time, so when Medicare was started, they just had A and B, and they didn't care about prescription drugs because it was, you know what, take an aspirin and, you know, buck it up, you know,
Right,
get strong. Then they started coming up with more treatments,
Right.
and medical costs became higher because it costs money to treat cancer.
Right.
You live, and then you live longer.
Research, yeah.
And to do that, there are lots of prescriptions and other pharmaceuticals that help us to live longer. They didn't even think about that in 1970. There was no drug coverage.
Mm-hmm.
If you did, like you had amoxicillin, or not amoxicillin, but penicillin,
Mm-hmm.
you went and picked it up and you paid out of pocket.
Right.
Well, now we were just started talking about prescription drug costs. How expensive can prescriptions be, do you think?
Pretty expensive.
No, I get migraine headaches. And they tried a new drug for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to go pick it up. Guess how much they wanted?
$800.
Oh, I would have been so lucky. They wanted
$1,000?
$6,000. Do you think I just wrote a check for $6,000 and there's no way?
No.
Right? No,
I freaked
absolutely.
out with 500 and 300.
I know. I was like, no. Apparently I'm living with migraines, right?
Right.
So I looked into a pharmaceutical assistance plan, PAP. So type the name of your drug and then type PAP and see if there's a pharmaceutical assistance plan that they can help you with. Because it turns out mine was a $0 copay for 3 months. So I got to try it. It ended up not working for me, so I'm glad I didn't have to spend $18,000.
Right.
But let's put that on our seniors as these new drugs are coming, you know, lisinopril, simvastatin, all these new drugs to treat things. And your A and B weren't covering it because A covered your hospitals, B covered your routine care. Nothing was covering your drugs.
Right.
The industry, the infrastructure, the changes to medical means that A and B wasn't enough anymore. It just wasn't.
Yeah. Tammy, I'm going to hold you right there.
Yep.
We need your phone number.
Oh, okay. My phone number is area code 502, which is Louisville, Kentucky. Go Cards.
But she lives in Denver.
I do. I live in Denver. I did spend time in Kentucky. It's 502-599-5928. Shoot me a text.
Or a text or a caller or whatever it is. She'll get back to you. I'll tell you. I just had to throw that in. Continue. I didn't mean to mess up.
No, yeah, no, that's okay. So we realize that there's a problem.
Right.
That there's more treatment available, there's more drugs available, and when you get your A and B, even though you're A, you don't pay for it. They don't pay for everything, do they?
Right. No.
You pay your part, the government pays theirs.
Right.
And the same thing is true with your Part B. You pay your part, you pay your premium, and then when you use the services, you pay your copay or co-insurance, and the company pays the rest.
Okay.
But it's still, you go broke, because think about, you're paying your part, and they're paying their part, and you have to have a quintuple bypass. And then you're in the hospital with COVID, and then you need a hip replacement, and then you have to go to rehab. I mean, you come back from it all, but every time you use that, you're going to pay your deductible, and you're going to pay your 20% of that.
Ouch.
What's 20% of a quintuple bypass, you think?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Can we afford that?
No.
So there were changes to the industry. Couple of things. Number one, you could get what's called a Medicare supplement, where you pay another premium every month, and then everything that your A and B doesn't pay, that company would pay. You could pay a lot of money a month for that, but they would pay for all of your routine and hospitalization that you would normally take care of.
Right.
Lovely, but also expensive.
Right.
Who can afford $400 or $500 a month?
Not too
You know, they start lower, $100, but then they go up as you age.
As you age, yeah.
So it's not a great solution. If you're rich, it's fabulous.
Right.
But for the rest of us, they came up with what's called Medicare Advantage. And here's what happened. So the government was looking at these changes to everything that's happening with healthcare, and they're looking at the financial effects for seniors. And they were like, it occurs to us that in the 40s, when all of those companies started offering healthcare to employees, they're already in this business. They already are in insurance, and we are a government. We're not a healthcare provider or an insurance company. What are we doing managing this? So they grabbed all the big guys, and you know the names of them, right?
Right.
All of those, and said, hey, we have an idea for you. We know that you give insurance to people under 65, mostly in a group. But how would you feel about helping people over 65? Well, they were like, oh, yeah. Are you opening that up to us? Yes.
Right.
And the government's like, whoa, slow your roll, Sally. Okay? You don't just get our seniors. Here's what we need from you. We need you to put a maximum out-of-pocket limit. These seniors need to know the most they're going to pay. If they have that medically needy year, how much is that going to be? You have to stop for them. They don't just pay and pay. That can change depending upon what plan you're on. The lowest I've seen is in the 3,000s, and they add up every dollar that comes out of your pocket for your medical care, going to the hospital, doctor, everything. Once you have paid that much, you don't pay medical bills for the rest of the year. That's a maximum out of pocket.
Yeah.
Now, on original Medicare, you'd be responsible for all of it. The 20%, end of story, you keep paying.
Right.
Now there's financial relief. And those companies were like, we ain't scared. We have been in this. We've been making a little bit of money on this, and we can do that. We can take the hit if somebody has a big medical year. And they're like, okay, that's awesome. You need to do the same thing for drugs. And they're like, whoa, wait, what? Yeah, $2,100. I'm paying my co-pays at the pharmacy. I'm only going to pay $2,100 for the year. So if I have those big co-pays and I have those big things happen January, February, the rest of the year, I'm going to get allergy tested. I'm going to get tested for everything.
Right.
Because everything is $0 as long as it's within the plan.
Right.
Those companies could still make money. In fact, they're capped at 3%. They can only make a 3% profit. This is a game that Bill Gates would never get into.
Yeah.
It's a very low profit margin.
Right. So, in a nutshell.
So that is then Part C and Part D. When those companies came in and said, heck yeah, we're going to take care of people instead of having them to use original Medicare, they get a card that contains their A, their B, and their D for drugs. That's a Part C. That's a Medicare Advantage.
Okay. And where does dental come in?
Dental is not a part of original Medicare. So if you are on original Medicare, you do not have dental coverage.
Oh.
At all. If you had dental coverage when you were employed and then you stopped being employed, you could get an individual dental plan that could cover some. It's never going to cover implants, guys, so get those done before 65.
Right.
But your dental can come as an extra benefit with your Medicare Advantage Part C.
Okay.
Medicare Advantage Part C has to be as good or better than original Medicare. It has to put those maximum out-of-pocket spend limits for your medical and your drugs, and they can also add some fun extras. That includes your gym membership. Have you heard of Silver Sneakers?
I have, and I'm taking full advantage of it.
I love that.
Yes,
Okay, so Silver Sneakers is in a lot of plans, not every plan. There's also called Silver and Fit. There's a bunch of different names for it, but many carriers and many plans offer that. It's a great way to meet people.
It is.
It's mostly people, there's not going to be a 24-year-old in there doing yoga, hot yoga with you.
Right.
It's going to be us.
It's going to be us.
Going to be safe, going to be welcoming, going to be us cotton tops.
Right.
Okay? It has that. It can also offer a little bit of dental. But don't trick yourself.
Right.
Don't think it's dental insurance.
Right.
It's an added benefit in your Medicare Advantage. And it could be as lean as, okay, you know what? You can go to these certain dentists and they will clean your teeth, do an x-ray, that kind of stuff. Just your routine. But if there's anything else, guess what? Get your wallet out.
Yeah.
Some will do the cleanings, and then says, we're going to put some money in your plan, just sitting there. No, you cannot just go and grab that money, but you can use that money at the dentist to get work done. Think you need a root canal, you need a tooth pulled, you need a deep scaling cleaning, just you need a bridge.
Right.
They can put anywhere from like $500 in that they will pay $500 towards, and then you're in charge of the rest, all the way up to the most I've seen is $3,500.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a great benefit. Another one are these.
Oh.
How many people do you know that are our age that don't have these?
Not very many.
I know those lucky ones that have had the cataract surgery,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But the rest of us, we're dealing with, trifocals and bifocals.
We all know about that.
I know, and then you can't find them, or your dog steps on them, or you
lose them, yeah.
You lose them, absolutely. I mean, glasses are expensive.
Yes, they are.
So in your Medicare Advantage plans, a lot of times they will embed a $0 check. So you can just get your eyes checked every year.
Yeah.
And some companies will also put some money towards new glasses every year or every 2 years.
Right.
Now, do you think they're going to pay for the whole shebang?
Probably not.
Maybe not. So one of the things I recommend is go through your junk drawer and find all your old frames. Find the ones you like. Bring those in and say, hey, can you put my new lenses in my old frames?
Wow. Never thought of that.
They might say yes, they might say no, but it's worth saving a little bit of money.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Definitely. Tammy,
Yes.
you're just a wealth of information. And those of you people that are watching now or just barely got on, we say welcome. And we're talking about Medicare here and how you still have time if you took your old policy or your policy that you originally got, took it for a test drive, didn't like it, and you need some help on that, ask some questions, call Tammy, email her, give them the email address.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Tammy, 2 M's and a Y, TAMMY .stellar. And stellar, I'm not truly stellar, Paul. It's STELLER, right?
Right.
At Gmail.
There you go.
Yeah, it's so
enough.
easy. And my phone number is 502-599-5928. So if you were to call or you were to leave me a message, there's a couple different ways we can get together. Like when you called me the first time, how did we meet the first time, our first meeting?
You came over.
Yeah, I do house calls, right?
Yeah, that was awesome.
So
you can meet at a coffee shop, wherever.
yeah,
you know?
I've met at McDonald's, at Panera's, any place that has.
Good way to get a free free lunch. No.
Now, okay, here's the deal. If you tried to buy me lunch or I tried to buy you lunch, we'd have to fire each other.
Oh, can't do it.
No money changes hand
No money.
ever.
See that? So no cost to you.
No cost, absolutely no cost. And so we can meet in person. If you just want to talk on the phone, like if you live in Pueblo, I love you, lovely, but I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Okay?
No.
So we might do it over the phone. If you're technologically savvy, we have Zoom. And so you can see me on your screen, I can see you.
Right.
So there's lots of ways we can get together.
There you go.
Another thing that I want to ask you about. So when we met that first time, right?
Right.
That wasn't the first time you bought insurance, was it?
No.
No. How do most people, do you think, get their Medicare Advantage insurance?
They just spoon feed it to you. This is what you have, or they call you by phone.
They call you, you say, yeah, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten that book, the Medicare and You book,
Yeah.
that big thing?
Yeah.
What do you use that for?
To prop my TV on.
Prop your TV, open your door, keep your door open.
Right.
And also, it's super great if you have insomnia. It's so much cheaper than Ambien. Just open that baby up, and you will be asleep in 5 minutes.
I believe that.
But the book is terrible because
Yeah.
there's so many ifs or maybe.
They want to
you,
make
but
you
not
an
you.
agent. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you have to do all the work. It's so confusing. Does this apply to me? Does it not? And you just give up, and whoever calls you. So rule number one in our relationship, now that I'm your person, is if somebody calls you and says, hey, Paul, I've got this amazing plan, and you need to go on it. Give me your red, white, and blue number.
Right.
What are you going to say?
click or I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm very good.
You're good. And if you think, well, but what if I'm not good? What? Tammy didn't tell me about this.
Right.
How often have you texted me?
All the time.
Yeah, and just say, hey, I got a call, and they're saying I can get all of this.
Right.
What do you know? And I can say, well, sure, we could get you that, but you can't go to that doctor. Sure, we could get you that, or you're going to be paying a heck of a lot more for your prescriptions.
Right.
What's important?
Right.
So a lot of times they bait you into
Yeah.
these great benefits,
Right.
but they don't tell you how it fits into your life. So that's another thing that I do for my clients is I stay in your life. I help you if things are getting tough.
And you tailor your policy or the program to fit the customer's needs, because there's a lot of times that I mean, there was one that I remember you introduced me to last month where you said you can get up to 200 groceries. I'm like, whoa, but your your prescriptions are going to go way up. Delete. I need to keep my prescriptions low because I use a lot of them.
Right, exactly.
So.
And it's not a one size fits all, and that's why it is so complex.
Right.
So one of the things that I run into is I really like to run my business like by referrals. You know, the people that you know, I like you, so I'm gonna like your people.
Right.
Right? I am not everybody's cup of tea. I'm just not. But some people
She's too fun.
some people I really enjoy, and I want to continue to help them.
Right.
So a lot of times, like you'll say, okay, I've got this agent, and she put me on this plan that bells and whistles and happiness and joy. And then your friend calls me and they say, hey, I want bells and whistles and happiness and joy.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, your bells and your whistles and your happiness and your joy are going to be very different than Paul's. You
Right.
might find it at a different company.
Right. Right. And you actually have various companies you deal with, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I do Medicare Advantage. So all of the big carriers that have the A, B, C, D all together.
Right.
Lots of different ones of those. I also do just prescription drug, because those A, B, C, and Ds, they do come with a lot of, the glasses, the dental, sometimes the extra grocery card, those maximum out-of-pocket limits. But it also comes with a little bit of constriction in that there are rules. You have to go to certain doctors that are in network, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't like that restriction. They want to do what they want. Okay? There's
Right.
some cowboys out there, right?
Right.
So they stay on original Medicare, but they also get a drug plan because you have to be covered or you're going to get a penalty.
Right.
So I will take care of those people too. If you are a cowboy and you just need a drug plan, I'm your girl.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Those appointments though are generally always over the phone, or we don't meet face to face for those, because those are quick and clean and easy.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And then there are some people who decide, I don't want the restriction, but I don't want all the costs of
Right.
original Medicare.
Right.
So that's where the Medicare supplements come in, and those extra payments where they will pay the rest of your costs. So that's a Medicare supplement. So I also do those as well, because there is no one right plan for anybody. And as your life changes, your needs may change. I think one of the biggest ripoffs is that they don't, when you turn 65, give you somebody to hold your hand immediately. They
Right.
should not send you a Medicare and U book.
Right.
They should send you an agent, an independent agent
Right.
that can do all of these
Right.
things that fit you.
Right.
Let somebody else do the math.
Right.
You're retired, you're pretty, don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, enjoy your time. Let somebody else do the work for you.
The ABCs of Medicare, folks, and if it was all too much for you and you need to nip it and buckle it down a little more and find out about something that needs to tailor fit you, you want to call Tammy. You really do. Give them that number again.
My phone number is 502-599-5928.
Email.
TAMMY.Stellar, STELLER, @gmail. And you can also look up on the internet stellarsolutions.com.
Mm-hmm.
And down at the bottom, there's just a little form, and I will get back to you.
Awesome. Stellarsolutions.com. Usually, most of us are tech savvy. You've been watching Deep Cuts on KUHS with Stellar Solutions, and Tammy, she's my go-to girl. She can be yours too. And do you have a slogan?
Well, it's kind of unofficial.
What is it?
Okay. I try to make Medicare sexy.
There you go. She makes Medicare sexy. I love it. She's here on KUHS. We got to have you back again.
I would love to come back. Maybe I'll see you again this summer?
We'd love to.
Okay,
We'd
terrific.
love to. Once again, Tammy Stellar Solutions. I had to laugh on that one. Okay,
Okay.
sounds good. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
And looks like you got a great man over there. Guy you've been married to for a minute, huh?
About 20 years, but